Want to be part of the stories? Join my Patreon, and I'll draw you or two characters of your choice as part of the horror universe I create. With exclusive rewards like shoutouts and custom art, you'll directly support the channel while becoming a unique part of the content. Check out the tiers and join the community today.
The power went out just as the snowstorm hit, leaving me in complete darkness. I had been expecting it. The weather report had been warning of the storm for days, but I wasn't prepared for how eerie it would feel to be alone in my house, with no lights, no heat, and the snow piling up outside. I bundled up in layers of blankets and sat by the window, watching the snow fall in thick sheets, covering everything in a blanket of white. The wind howled, making the house creak and groan, and the occasional branch snapped under the weight of the ice. Hours passed, and still, power didn't come back on. I lit a few candles, but the flickering light only seemed to make the shadows deeper. I told myself it was just the storm, but something felt off, like I wasn't alone. It was around midnight when I heard the first knock. Faint, but unmistakable. It came from the front door. I grabbed the flashlight, my heart pounding in my chest, and slowly made my way toward the entrance. When I opened the door, no one was there. Just snow. But then I noticed the footprints, fresh prints, leading from the woods directly to my doorstep. I slammed the door shut, locking it tight, but I couldn't stop the rising panic. I moved to the back window, hoping to see who, or what, was out there. But all I saw was white. White snow, white sky, white everything. Except for the figure. Standing just beyond the tree line was a tall, dark figure, its shape barely visible through the storm. It didn't move, didn't make a sound, but I knew it was watching me. The knocking came again, this time from the window on my side, but the figure was still there, behind some bushes. My first thought was that more than one person was trying to get into my house. I ran to the other window to see if I could spot anyone, but there was no one out there, just snow and darkness. I rushed back to the couch to grab my phone and call 911, but as soon as I picked it up, there was a violent bang on the front door. I ran upstairs, screaming and crying, and barricaded myself in the bathroom. I could hear the front door being torn apart. I dialed 911, screaming at the operator to send help, but it was hard to even form words. My panic was total, and suddenly, I couldn't move. The intruder was already inside, and I heard him coming up the stairs, running. He stopped right in front of my door, like he knew exactly where I was. After a few seconds, he started banging on the door with something heavy. I didn't know what it was at first, but as he destroyed more of the door, I saw it. It was a massive axe. This was it, my final moments. I could see him now, at least the top half of his body. There was a huge hole in the door, but before he could break through, I heard shouting from downstairs. The police were here, finally. They stormed the house, guns drawn, and took the intruder down. I spoke with the police as they escorted the man out in handcuffs. They told me that he had been on the run for a while, wanted for multiple break-ins and other crimes. He had spent most of his life in and out of prison. Thank God the police arrived in time. I'm still alive, but I think about that night every day, especially when there's a blackout.